So the Kansas City Chiefs just proved they're the most dangerous team in the NFL. Let's freaking talk about it. Woo! Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Belt to ass. It was a nice one. It was good to see. We needed it. We needed that, baby. We needed that.
Yeah,
it was
we did.
nice to see Rashee Rice back on the football field, baby.
It was. Rashee had himself a day. The Chiefs got him involved early, and they got him involved pretty often. I thought he looked good in his return. They got him the ball in situations that he needed to get the ball in. Like, I don't think they had the whole playbook opened up to him so far. But he did have 7 catches for 42 yards, and that was off 10 targets, and he had 2 touchdowns. So he had a pretty big day today in his return. We were talking during the game. If you would have told people before the season started that Rashee Rice would be suspended 6 games, but yet he would have 2 touchdowns before Pacheco got his first of the year, would you have believed it?
That is pretty wild. I thought Pacheco had got in this year. I really did. So
it seemed
that's
like
pretty
he
wild
had
that
a touchdown, but they kept saying that on air. So I don't know if they're right or not. But look, Rashee Rice had a good day. And look, they used Brashard Smith a lot more today, which I love seeing. He had 5 catches. And I think Brashard Smith actually had 14 carries.
14 carries, baby.
So Brashard Smith had 19 touches today and ended up going for about 80, 90 yards, somewhere in that range. I don't know. I can't do math too well right now, but it is what it is. I thought he played a flawless game, as good as you could ask from a rookie. And I thought Mahomes proved today why he should be number 1 in the MVP race. And look, if you took Mahomes off this Chiefs team, we're winless. And isn't that what the MVP is supposed to be? The MVP is supposed to be you pull them off the team and they can't win nothing. The Chiefs would be in trouble.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes is the GOAT. That's all there is to it. He's obviously the MVP. You could have probably said that about his down years, but he just he don't get the respect he deserves. And
right.
It just is what it is. I mean, Mahomes is Dylan out there, dude. I mean, he's literally on another level. It's funny because when you go watch like a Buffalo Bills game, like this last game they just played against the Falcons and stuff like that, Josh Allen tries to do things that Patrick Mahomes does and can't do it.
Absolutely.
He fails miserably. It's like Dollar General Patrick Mahomes, and he just isn't getting it done. Patrick Mahomes does it like he does. It's second nature.
He isn't even no Dylan Raiola, huh? He can't even pull that off. Steve, there was an injury to talk about, though. Omar Norman-Lott was helped off the field. He had a knee injury, and Andy actually come out in the press conference and said by Marlia Campbell, she wrote this, Omar Norman-Lott's going to undergo an MRI on his knee tomorrow. So they're going to know more tomorrow. MRI, that's not going to be fun for him.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
They have about 2 weeks to get some more defensive line help in here, ladies and
gentlemen.
Look,
I think defensive line help was something they were wanting, and now it's almost mandatory they have to do it. I think Brett Veach makes a move on the defensive line here over the next probably few days. I don't think he takes it all the way out to the deadline. So I think he probably tries and goes and gets what he can get.
Yeah.
Sometime probably this week.
Mike, you could get you a piece of stone and a chisel out and write that one down, baby. They're going to get somebody on the defensive line. They have to at this point. Yeah, for sure. Let's get this party started, baby. Let's get to the chat. Got a 5 bomb from Metal Rocker. Said, here's 5 for the dub. Glad to see Rice back and the offense is humming. Hope that Trey and Kingsley are okay. Yeah, exactly, man. Don't want any kind of hiccups right now. This offense is going in the right direction. It's looking unstoppable at times. The last thing we need is offensive line depth problems. So we want to see our guys out there. We already had the thing going on with Josh Simmons. Then you have Trey going down, Kingsley going down. We don't need all that. We need our guys healthy. We need them out there. But, yeah, still a good dub. Julian with the 10 bombs is about to ask, what happened, Raiders? What happened? Where was Devin White was talking all that shit, and what happened? Nothing. He didn't do anything because he's 80. And then offense is back in action, full force. Let's go, Chiefs. Absolutely, Julian. Everybody should be horned up, baby. If you just saw that display of football the Chiefs put on, defensively and offensively. Now, special teams, I wanted to say it was a very well-rounded game, but special teams still looked a little stank. Butker actually hit everything today, though, so that's a positive note. But, yeah, beautiful game, dude, on both sides of the ball. It was good to see. Our boy Shane, been a member for 2 years now. Let's freaking go, Shane. Says, I never thought I'd see such a beautiful game. We needed that. We literally needed that. Everyone, fans, players, all of the organization, they needed that win today. I think it just kind of solidified. You've seen the upward trend in the last couple of weeks, and this just kind of put a bow on it. Like, okay, we're here. We are here, and we're a problem. Shane also with the 2 says, I love how much we're using Smith. Mike, you just mentioned that he had like 14 carries. Of course, a lot of it came in garbage time, and he wasn't getting much out of it because everyone knew they were running the football. So, I mean, his yards per carry probably wasn't anything impressive. But I saw a few plays from Smith today where it's just like, that's why we need to be using this kid.
Yeah, for sure. Brashard Smith is he's a threat to break it and take it to the house anytime he touches it, to be honest.
Hell yeah, dude.
But yeah, look, he's not even going to be successful with that offensive line. And you've seen Jawan Taylor at the end of the game leave. But I feel like if we needed to be out there, Jawan Taylor was going to be back out there. Andy said after the game that he hopes Trey Smith's back injury is nothing serious, but they're going to wait and see on that one. So, we didn't get out of the game unscathed. It was fun to see a blowout, but there may be some consequences to it. We'll see. Hopefully we dodge that bullet and move it along, and I don't think it's nothing crazy. That's what I hope. But Steve, can you believe, listen to this stat that just got thrown out by NFL on CBS. Only one quarterback since the year 2000 has had 200 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns on his first 3 drives of the game, and that was Patrick Mahomes versus the Raiders today.
Another record in the books for Patrick Mahomes. This kid is the greatest quarterback to ever play football. Everyone can argue about it. They can cry about it. They can be Brady homers. They can be John Elway homers or whatever the heck it is. But everyone knows deep down in their heart that Patrick Mahomes at the top of his game is better than anyone who's ever played it.
Yeah.
It's not a question. So if you want to go for the longevity thing, it's yet to be seen. But he is the best that you've ever seen do it when he's at the top of his game. It's just end of story. P Water with the 5 bomb says, can we avoid the playing with autism games? It's over. I don't know if that's what you meant, buddy, but he also said this could be our top 5 on both sides team. Moore is a stud. Let's freaking go. No, for real. You're right though. This could be the first year where we have a top 5 offense, top 5 defense. Cause usually the last couple of years, we've had a really good defense. The offense has been lagging behind. And then you go back a few years, and we had all the good offenses and defenses kind of struggled up until late in the season. So this team looks really good all around. But also, you do have to remember a lot of young pieces on both sides of the football. So, we have to be patient still. We can't expect them to be top-notch every freaking game. But, I mean, we can see that this team, when they're playing at their best, they are a problem for our defenses. And then our defense, they can shut some guys down. Like, I know that today's offense wasn't great. I get it. They were missing their 2 biggest weapons. Well, maybe 2 of their 3 biggest weapons because Genty. But, I mean, they're not the greatest offense in the world. But you did see this team kind of hold their own with Philadelphia. You saw them completely shut down the Ravens. You saw them shut down the Detroit Lions. So this defense is legit too, man.
Yeah, the defense played an amazing game today. Look, and I know it's probably not hard. You're going up against Geno Smith and the Raiders. Their offense just flat out stinks. But listen to this one. There's only we had. Let me see. Let me find it. I don't want to misquote it. Let me see. It's wild. The Chiefs had 30 first downs, and the Raiders only ran 30 plays. Think about that one.
Damn.
We had 30 first downs. The Raiders were held today to, my God, 0 for 7 on 3rd down efficiency, 0 for 1 on 4th down efficiency. They only ran 30 plays for 95 yards, and that was on 10 drives. 70 yards passing, 25 yards rushing. They had 8 penalties for 58 yards compared to the Chiefs' 5 for 38. So they only had 20 more penalty yards. So for everybody that says refs, we had a touchdown pulled off the board for a penalty. They did not. So 31-point beatdown does not equate to 20 yards in penalty yardage, and we had a touchdown yanked off the board. So they lost a fumble. The defense was all over the place today, Steve.
Yeah.
Shout out Chris Jones. He got a sack today. I thought he was going to have 2.
Almost.
But the funny thing is Chris Jones only played like 23 plays. He didn't have to play.
Wild. It's pretty wild, ain't it? Hey, guys, we appreciate y'all being here. Big win for the Chiefs, baby. We needed that win. It, like I said, coming on the uptrend here. That was a good game to just kind of solidify, like, hey, we're here. things are looking good. We got a lot of pieces, all that stuff, man. And it just feels good, especially a divisional rival, just to spank them, right there in Arrowhead. So great day. Appreciate y'all being here. Hit the like button if you haven't. Let's get some more people in here. Let's have a good time tonight.
Today makes the third game. We're 7 games in the season, and almost 50% of our games have been kick back on the couch games. Just enjoy it.
You got to love it.
You got that versus the Ravens. You seriously had that versus the Lions.
Yeah.
And then today, it was a total kick your feet up and just enjoy it. Have a little extra slice of pizza or something.
Have a little KC takeaway from Zarda Barbecue, because that's what we did.
Right. Shout out Zarda. Zarda sent us barbecue. We made these sandwiches here. They sent us everything to make these sandwiches, the KC takeaways. They sent everything out. And boy, did we make them. They were amazing. We had a good time with that.
We fed the whole family of 7.
Right. Shout out Zarda for doing that for us. Appreciate you guys. And if you guys are in the area, go check out Zarda.
Go eat there. You won't regret it. Ryan Barber says Steve preaches to his crew that 20 runs equals wins. And Andy said, hold my cheeseburger, Steve-O. 41 rushes later. Raiders are corpse tier limp, begging for Blue Chew. Steve ain't a podcaster. He's a damn prophet. Hey, toot toot, baby. Toot toot. Let's go.
Steve, we always talk about you have to commit to the running game. The running game is the commitment.
Just 20, baby. Just 20
It's a commitment. Look, and you only had 40-something because garbage, right? But still,
I'll take it.
You're at garbage time because you committed to the run. There was at some point during the game, I think we had 16 passes, 15 runs. And we were absolutely dominating at that point. The running game, it's not about who's the running back. Like, yes, it would be great to have a Breece Hall. It would be great to have frickin' Adrian Peterson in his prime. Yes, it would be frickin' fantastic. But our team's not built like that. We can't afford to pay that position. And Pacheco's proved that he is a Super Bowl winning running back. And Kareem Hunt's no slob either. And Brashard Smith looks to be able to do it. So, look, I don't see any reason you got to go out and do it. And he just has to commit to the run and let these guys eat a little bit.
Yeah, that's all he's got to do. Just let that offense get in a rhythm, and you do that by establishing a run game. So I'm glad that he actually did that. Matthew says, why did Reed call the dogs off? Couldn't give us one more drive. Come on, man. Look, I honestly think that it was literally just a respect for Pete Carroll thing, the reason why he took the foot off the gas so hard. Because Andy's beat the Raiders down before.
We were up 31-0. Like, how bad did you want to beat them?
I wanted 40.
Yeah, you may want 40, but Andy's not doing that to somebody.
He has before.
I just don't think he's going to do it.
I think he felt sorry for Pete over there.
And I think if you start doing stuff like that, it's going to get chippy, and somebody could take cheap shot at Mahomes. You've seen it last week with Brian Branch. I think the NFL's already kind of watching us. They hit Juju on one today, and I told you Juju's going to start being monitored a lot more.
Yep.
So I think you stay under the radar. You got the big win. There was no reason to try. You don't want a cheap injury or something like that.
That's right, but you can't always take
31-0 is a big win
out,
there, buddy.
Oh,
Let's not get too greedy.
I'm not. No one's being greedy.
I think it's greedy. You just said you'd like to have 40.
I would have liked to have had a 40 burger today. That
cool.
Nice.
I would have too. But maybe if the Raiders would have put 7 points on the board, you could have thought about it. But since they were getting blanked, I think 31-0 is pretty, suffice.
Yeah. Brian Parrott says that was a horrid opponent, not an accurate test of how good we are. I see where you're going with that, Brian, but I don't know. They beat the Patriots. The Patriots are a playoff contender. I mean, I think they can play. They can compete.
Yeah. Look, at some point during the season, we have to use our brains. And our brains tell us that this team right now, this was the first time we've seen our offense. They're not even clicking fully. But our offense is better. It's a bit deeper. It's a better team than we were last year. We were winning a lot on luck last year. This team would have smoked last year's team. Yeah. And we've not even hit our full stride, and we're going up and beating teams. And look, this is the NFL, and there's a lot of parity out there. You cannot tell me that beating a divisional rival 31-0, no matter how depleted they are or whatever it is, at some point we can't start just dogging all the wins and saying the Chiefs just aren't beating nobody. Well, in that case, Buffalo ain't beating nobody. Nobody's beating nobody then, because we can't do that, because that's getting too nitpicky. Like, we can't go out and beat all the best teams because you don't get to play them. Right? So let's see what we do against Buffalo. And if Buffalo plays us tough, they play us tough. But still, I just don't think we can keep this. We just can't keep throwing away what this team's being able to accomplish right now.
Let's go, baby. You got to celebrate those little accomplishments.
For what? You know what I mean? I just don't think you can look at it that way.
Yeah, Perry with the 2 bombs says Raiders are second team since 1950 with 30 or less snaps. Dude, complete and total domination today. And that's another thing. Like, even if your opponent is not that great, you're still an NFL team and you slaughtered them. Like, you shut them down. So, I mean, it was a good game regardless of how you look at it. I think the Chiefs just went nuts today, and they needed to, man. They really needed it, and we needed it. Such a good time. Nikki with the 2 says Chiefs had more touchdowns than the Faders had first downs. Let's freaking go. Mike, that was the nice spanking we needed to give the Raiders. Just to feel good, you know? It's
Right.
like, what better to do than just go out and absolutely spank a rivalry? Like right in Arrowhead, dude. The return of Rashee Rice, 2 tutties right off the rip.
Yeah, you had to do that. I think that's good. You've got a few big games. Look, we got the Commanders coming up on Monday Night Football, I'm pretty sure. And then you've got the Bills, and then it's a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
you've got 2 more big games coming up. But look, I think going into the Commanders game, this is a lot of confidence. I think that the offense continues to roll. We got out of there relatively unscathed. I think if Trey Smith has to miss a week, you know, due to a back injury or something, I think this is a fine time to do it. I think if you give Caliendo a full week of reps there, he's going to be fine. That's why you had to keep Caliendo. Look, I didn't think we seen what's his name today. Wanye Moore's come in and played a few snaps, and he didn't look horrible. Again, he wasn't going up against somebody great, but I think that we're built. This team's built well enough that 1 or 2 little, you know, setbacks like that isn't going to derail this team, and that's the difference. We just started the season off with a little bit of bad luck. I mean, the Chargers game could have been won if Kelsey catches that at the goal line. You beat the Eagles if Kelsey doesn't pop one up to the other team at the goal line.
Right. Yeah.
There's several things here. The Chiefs could be undefeated right now if they just had half the breaks they had last year.
Yeah. No kidding.
And they're winning in dominating fashion.
But you knew that wasn't going to last forever, right?
Exactly.
Like, the ball can't always bounce your way. It's funny shaped, and it's just not always going to bounce your way. It's just how it is.
Steve, since week 3, can I tell you Patrick Mahomes' stats since week 3? Shout out Lance. Since week 3, Patrick Mahomes has 69% completion percentage. He's averaging 271 passing yards per game. He has 12 touchdowns passing, 2 on the ground, only 1 interception, and he has a QB rating of a 112. Patrick Mahomes is flat out playing MVP ball, and anybody that says he's not is a complete and total slapnut.
They're a hater, brother. That's all they are. Angry Drunken German, the only update we have is that he's set for an MRI. That's all we know. A knee problem, which is not good. Not what you want to hear about your 2nd round draft pick, but hopefully that comes out clean. But yeah, we've got to beef up that defensive line, man. That's the next thing on the checklist for Brett Veach. It has to be. You know, with the trade deadline coming up, I think you got to pull some strings. You got to make some magic happen. Pull a rabbit out of your hat. Do something, because if there's a weakness on this team, we all know it's that. And we're losing depth potentially. That's not gonna work. So, but yeah, Angry Drunken German also says we stomped a bad team. That's what you're supposed to do. It is. I mean, if you can't go out and beat them, you know, the Raiders, then how do you expect to beat Buffalo or anybody else? Let's see what else we got going on.
Look, I buy into that, but you tell me one team this year, any team in football that have went out and stomped every bad team they're supposed to.
Right.
Doesn't
I
happen
don't
with
think
the
that's taking
NFL.
away anything from the Chiefs there. It's still
No,
a good
absolutely.
game today. Right. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Worthy shoulder, Jeff Gibbs. I mean, he's going to have issues with it. He's got a torn labrum, so it's going to hurt. It just is. But he's playing through it. Surgery set for after the season, so it's just going to be like that. So can he continue to play through it? It looked like when he went to the sideline there, he was kind of working with it and trying to get it. He's fighting through it, and I think he's doing a really good job. So as long as it doesn't get further damaged, I think he'll be fine. It's going to be kind of touch and go there. But I thought Xavier Worthy, you know, for as quiet of a game as he had, he's just such a weapon, dude. Like, he's like a legit receiver plus the McCole Hardman trickster who can blow open, you know, kind of get a gadget play in there and just blow one open.
Yeah.
Like, but on another level than that. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's so much fun to watch this offense with all the pieces there. That's the first game we've got to watch with Hollywood, Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice all healthy on the football field, which is insane.
Right.
And what about Tyquan Thornton still getting out there and contributing?
Yeah, they were still
And Juju.
using him today.
Can we talk about Juju for 5 seconds? This dude's on another level this season. He's doing that dirty work. He's doing it well. He's catching the football. He's got some pop to him with the ball in his hands. He's killing it right now. He is definitely doing his job. So, I mean, this wide receiver core, dude, they're legit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They're probably the best in the game if they're healthy. I think it's wild. Before the Chiefs, they had 4 drives at the end of the game that were just, killing clock and not really doing nothing. So if you count every drive, if you take those 4 drives off where we were kneeling before the 2-minute warning. Think about that. We were taking a knee. This is how much of a domination. So if you take off basically the fourth quarter, the Chiefs were averaging 6.2 points per drive. How wild is that? That's insane. Like, we're just straight up. Mahomes I think he had 5 drives today, and we put up 31. He scored 31 points in 5 drives.
Yeah, and here's the thing. People want to knock on the Raiders, but it's like, I don't think this is a Raiders issue. I think it's more of a NFL, like a league-wide issue. Like, the Chiefs are legit going to do this to some teams. Like, it's not just the Raiders.
The only bad break for the Raiders today was that Max Crosby had to leave the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, of course, they were missing they were missing 2 big weapons on offense, too. But either way, I don't think that would have changed much. I really don't.
But I'm talking about trying to stop our offense. So it's Max Crosby, big deal. Do you think Max Crosby really making up 31 points?
No, but that's all they got. But I mean, I don't think it's that so much. I think it's, the Chiefs got written off by everybody after the first couple games. Oh, the dynasty's over. They lost in the Super Bowl. Now they're 2-3. And it's over. They're not good anymore. They suck. They're trash. Mahomes is washed. Kelsey's washed. And I think you're, all of a sudden reality's sitting in.
Yeah.
Everybody's been in their own little delusion. Whatever makes them happy. Whatever makes them horned up. It was fake. It was false. It was a fairy tale land. And they're starting to realize it real quick.
Yeah. The Chiefs are definitely... Look, who was it? Was it PFF that put the Chiefs as the number 1 team, and they took heat all week long? And they said, we stick by it. And after today, how do you not? Especially if the Eagles, or not the Eagles, but the Lions. If the Lions beat the Bucks today, I think you put this team over the Eagles at this point. We almost beat the Eagles anyway, and I think this team's got to be better
now,
than
full
the Eagles
health,
in a
we
power
beat
ranking.
the Eagles.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So who looks dumb now? Not the people that said the Chiefs are the best team in football. That's for sure.
Yep. Sam says, are you worried at all that the team could be peaking early? I'm actually not, because I don't think this team's anywhere near the peak. Like, that's what's not so scary about this team is they're just getting started. And they're already looking the way they do. Like I said, this is the first time that all 3 of them receivers have been on the field together. Out of the whole 2 years they've been on this team, that's the first game they've all been on the field together. So you got to think the chemistry that can keep building there. And the more that Patrick Mahomes gets used to having all these weapons and all that speed on the field, and then, the running game's still trying to find its identity and getting a little bit better. We noticed today, Mike, me and you talked about how we've seen a lot more like zone runs to like the C gap straight ahead with Isaiah Pacheco. Boom, get him ahead of steam. Yeah. Like all the good stuff, like getting him outside the tackles. And now hopefully Kareem Hunt, I haven't heard anything about him, but he's like our bread and butter on the short yardage.
He's fine.
So he
was back in the game.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah, he come back in. So, you weren't paying attention. You were already over there eating Zarda again.
I was.
You were so zoned out because we were blowing them out. You was having seconds.
I was in a food coma. I didn't even care no more. I was like, this is great. But no, man, they're finding their identity with the run game. They're getting Rashard Smith involved a little bit. This team's nowhere near peaked. And if you know a Steve Spagnuolo defense, they're normally not into any kind of shape until about week 8. So, I mean, peaking early? No, I just think they're that good. I think they have a huge ceiling, and it could be a massive, like, just a crazy team by the end of the year.
Yeah, for sure. This team's going to be good. I'm not worried about them peaking. I don't think they're peaked. I don't think they will peak. I think this team can only get more cohesive
little
and
peeping
better.
Toms. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, that's what they're doing, baby. Hey, we
guys,
got
how we feeling? Get in the chat.
Yeah,
and let
we're
us
feeling
know.
pretty good. We got a watch your ears. We got a Travis Kelce moment. Here it comes.
That's a fucking W.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's freaking go. Hey, Chat,
Hey,
get
having a
in
good
there.
time.
Tell us how you're feeling. I know y'all
Having a
had
good
fun
time.
today. I know y'all
Yeah,
had
let us
fun
know how
today.
you're feeling. Appreciate you guys being here. We got like 400. I'm guessing everybody's watching the late games. It is what it is. People so fired up. Look, if you lose, people don't care, and if you win, people don't care. It's just one of those things where they find a reason not to care, and they'll find things to do. But the fun thing is it doesn't matter. We had a good day today. And then we want to give a shout out to TickPick, by the way, for sponsoring this one. If you guys download that app, TickPick, go download that app, put in the code HMA. You're going to get no fees whatsoever, which is what's awesome. What you see is what you get. And plus, you're going to get $20 off your first order in the app. So it won't work anywhere else but the app. So download the app, use the code HMA, $20 off your first ticket purchase. You can get Chiefs tickets anywhere you want. You're going to get $20 off that first purchase with code HMA. Let them know All Chiefed Up sent you. Appreciate TickPick for sponsoring this one, man, because we love TickPick.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I said, we don't use anything but TickPick. Steve, we were scrolling
That's-
TickPick during the game.
It's the
trying to find
only
tickets.
thing I've ever used to buy tickets. And by the way, code HMA, $20 off with a $100 purchase, by the way.
Yes, with a $100 purchase.
Which, I mean,
Well, I
in your
assume that
defense,
almost-
can you get a ticket for less than that? these
No, I
days?
don't think you can buy a ticket to to the prom for less than $100 at this point.
Chief has been a member for 26 freaking months. Let's go. He's horned. How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Steve-O's in the house. Says, by God, be the Chiefs. Let's go.
Right. Dude,
Mike, real quick, Kurapika points out both the Chargers and the Donkeys are currently losing in their games. So these are important games. If they were to both drop today, like the Chiefs all of a sudden get up here at the top of the AFC West, and we're back where we're rightfully supposed to be, and we got a whole big season ahead of us. So
right.
loving it.
Denver, the Chargers are playing the Colts. They're down 10 right now. But it just started the second quarter, and Denver's only down 7-0 with the ball, but they're about to punt or maybe kick a field goal. I don't know what they're getting ready to do. It just says, Denver 36. So, yeah, they're going to punt. No, wait. I said that backwards. I don't remember how it works. Okay, but anyways, who cares?
I don't even know what you
It's
were
just
saying.
starting the second quarter. So I don't know if I write them both off just yet, but okay, they punted. So that's the thing. I kind of felt like they were going to punt. So the Giants have got the ball. The Chargers, it's early, but let's hope they both take an L today. That would be nice, Steve. That would put us firmly. I mean, are we right at the top of the division if that happens?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm pretty sure.
We might. The Chargers might still be there.
You might still be like a half game behind. Let me look at the West standings.
Because I know that they obviously have the tiebreaker on us right now.
Right.
Until the second game we play, and then we're going to.
They're 4-2, so they would drop to 4-3. The Broncos would be 4-3. We would be 4-3, but we did lose the tiebreaker to the Chargers. So we would jump the Broncos, and we might not jump the Broncos either because they're ahead of us at 4-2 right now. But if we both go to 4-3, I don't know what the tiebreaker would be there just yet because we haven't played the Broncos yet. But yeah, we wouldn't go to the top though.
I
'cause
think
the Chargers
since they've
still
only
have the
beat us one
tiebreaker.
time in 20 years, they'd probably be like,
Yeah,
go
I feel like
give it
they just need to go ahead and put them behind us because of the past. But yeah, we wouldn't be first, but we'd be tied for first with the Chargers. They'd have the tiebreaker.
Right. Sammy Joe says toughest matchup left is the Bills at this point. Unless we get swept by the Broncos, I don't see us not making the playoffs. Schedule's looking easy. It's definitely looking a lot better. Obviously, even with schedule looks easy, like we mentioned earlier, there's a lot of parity in the NFL right now. So a bad team could still get you if you don't get out there and play. If you don't get out there and execute. So if the Chiefs take care of business and do what they got to do, if they could stay healthy, they're just going to be a handful for anybody. Like, they're literally like, tell me I'm wrong, but if this team's healthy, they're the best team in football, and I don't think there's an argument.
No, the offense is definitely proving that with everybody healthy, and even before everybody was back and healthy, the offense was starting to look good.
Right.
So this offense is healthy. They're back. They're probably the most potent offense in football, and that includes Josh Allen. That includes all of them. I just don't think that they have enough weapons. And the defense, I mean, they show signs of being like flat out dominant. Now, look, I'm not so big on the defense today going up against Geno. They did hold Ashton Genty to 21 rushing yards, but I mean, he only had 6 carries. Because why, Steve? We got up early and we said, you won't be able to run the ball. You take Genty out of the game before the first quarter, and sure enough, they did. It was 14-0.
Right.
They followed the script to what we say is a successful game every week. They followed it to a T today. We always say, use your tight ends early and often. And what they do, Travis Kelce dominated the first drive. And then when Travis Kelce didn't dominate the first drive, who got the other one? Noah Gray. A big play up the sideline on a fake screen. We said to run the ball. They run the ball. Like, you've got to do certain little things. And it feels like there is a perfect formula for a Chiefs domination win. But it feels like Andy Reid has short-term memory loss and he'll forget it by Tuesday. and he's got to find it 4 weeks later. So it's like, you got to get it together and you got to do it. But yeah, Sammy, you're right. I think if you just beat the Broncos, this team could run the table, honestly.
Let's do it. I'm for it. Romastama with the 5 bomb says people have to remember, historically, we play down to crappy teams.
Romastama,
he has the worst time. He has the worst time with the autocorrect.
I don't know what this cat's be talking about all the time, but wild stuff. Is Romastama maybe a serial killer, and his phone's outing him right now?
Maybe
he was talking about we gotta get that liver on the black market, baby.
Like what's his name? Freaking Hannibal Lecter over here.
Could be, man.
Let's
He's
go.
Some TNT.
Andre says, "Do we beat the Chargers for the tiebreaker?" I mean, we still got to play them. I think we're going to beat them this time around.
Right, we wouldn't beat them
game
immediately for the tiebreaker.
Yeah, no,
they would have the half game over us. But it does go to the standings. It goes to the AFC West.
Right, so if they
standings.
continue to lose, then it doesn't matter. But
right, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who all's played who so far in the division. But it would go to like divisional. Yeah, see, I don't know. We're 1-1 in the division. For some reason, it's not telling me on Google through NFL standings what the divisional standings are, but it's fine.
Erwin says 14-3 is where we'll be. Let's freaking go. Freaking Dr. Seuss over here throwing out some knowledge.
Ooh, the Chargers are already 3-0 in our division.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're not going to beat the Chargers. Even if the Chargers take an L, you're not beating them this week. We would go to
we would beat
Denver.
Yep.
Yeah, Denver. So we would beat Denver. We would jump Denver. So we'd be at 2-1. Denver would be 0-1, and then the Chargers would remain at the top for now.
Yeah, Andre, we're going to win this next game against them. Yeah, for sure. O&L having an MRI tomorrow. Yep. Let's see. Jesse says, y'all see the Josh Simmons story today? No. Did you?
What? I don't know what the Josh Simmons story was.
Yeah, me neither. We were busy watching the Chiefs whoop that Raiders ass is what we were doing.
It might have been before the game.
I know.
You know they're trying to get people to pay attention. What was the story?
I don't know.
They come up with a good one? Did they find the PR team work a little bit? PR team doing something?
Yeah. Shout out Jacob over on Facebook. Says, man, what a game. Tanner says the best team in football. You know it, baby. It's going to be awesome. Jacob said, just imagine how more dangerous we are with a solid running back. Man, I think that our guys have been doing pretty good. Like, we can't complain. I think as long as we give them opportunities. It's just the thing. Like, Mike mentioned this on the pregame. You go out, you get a Breece Hall, or you were to have an Alvin Kamara, or you could have Derrick Henry. If you're only going to give him 6-7 carries a game, he's not going to do what you think he's going to do. Because running back position calls for a rhythm. It calls for opportunities. It calls for that big breakout play. You're not going to get that when Andy's going, running back by committee, and you got normally 7 carries here, 6 carries here, and 3 carries there. So, I mean, you give Derrick Henry 7 carries a game. Yeah, he might be decent. He might have a game where he can break off one big run, but it's not very common. I think the problem is, like Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, whoever's got the hot hand, even Brashard, that's who should be getting these carries. They have double digits at least just to give them opportunities. But yeah, I mean, if you were to put like a Breece Hall on this team and give him the opportunities, yeah, it could be crazy. I'm not saying that he's that like Pacheco's just as talented as those guys, but I do think that it's an opportunity thing there.
Yeah, I just don't. Again, Andy's just not a player. He's done it, so I won't say never say never, but Andy does love the running back by committee. So I think even if you go get a guy like Breece Hall, he's still not getting 20 or 25 carries a game. Like, they're still dividing that up.
Right.
And so even in a good game, he's probably getting 12 to 14 max. And we've already discussed that when Breece Hall gets anywhere around, say, 9, 10, 11, 12 carries. Now, his offensive line right there is probably not as good, but he's still only averaging about 3 yards a carry. So I don't know. I just feel like we're fine for what we're doing. I think it's just more Andy has to commit to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's been the name of it the whole time. We've known this. It's just like Andy's got to run the football. So yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that. Guys, get in the chat. Put some questions in there if you want to know anything. We'll be around for a few more minutes tonight. Looks like everybody's already kind of checked out for the day. They took that win and said whatever. So if y'all got anything to say, get it in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. You can become a member by hitting that join button or going to join.allchiefedup.com if you don't see that bad boy. $4.99 a month. We have members only live stream coming up here soon. We're also going to be doing an extra live stream for a 50,000 subscriber celebration where Mike's giving away a signed Isaiah Pacheco Rutgers jersey. So you want to be a part of that. Be on the lookout for that. Also, we have merchandise over at merch.allchiefedup.com. Get over there. You can get yourself some nice shirts. We got some festive stuff up already. Got the Merry Chiefsmas shirts. That way you can get ahead of the game. Have your holiday season Chiefs merchandise. They're pretty sweet. So get over there and get you some. You can use the code HORNTSEASON, which is HORNTSZN, and you get 15% off any order over there right now. So do it to it. Mike, what was your favorite thing about today's game? Like, what made you the happiest?
I mean, it was fun to see Rashee Rice back in the offense. Again, he changes things. It's fun to see. It just looks different. Like, it just really looks different. I'll say that I like the fact that Andy stuck to the run game. Like I said, there was one point where he had 16 passes and like 14, 15 runs. So he was pretty much, him or Nagy, whoever won, I think they pretty much called a great game from that perspective. And I thought our defense was solid. You do know how Geno works. Geno throws moon balls and stuff. So I kind of thought there would be times that maybe he hits a lucky one or something. But you got to give the Chiefs credit. They got enough pressure on him that he really didn't get comfortable in the pocket. And so I just think it was a good overall win. I think if there was a bad sign today, it would have been maybe Nico Remigio had a rough day today. He may be the worst one, but Butker had a solid game for once, his first clean game of the year. And again, this Butker thing, I felt like was just so blown out of proportion. Like, he was never solely responsible for any losses. Like, you could always pull out 5 other things. So
Right.
I felt like it's just people go through slumps. But surely he's going to get that back on track going into the stages of the season that matter. And so, man, I don't know. I thought it was a pretty flawless game. And there's nothing to take away from it than that. Like, everybody played very, very flawless. And you know it's it's a big win, and it's a total team domination when you can't really pull out specific players on defense. You know, like, for example, if it's close, you could think of those clutch plays that got it. But today it just kind of felt like everybody cohesively played well, and there's not that one stick-out guy on the defense that just had to make the big plays or something like that. Like, they all just played very solid.
Yeah, for sure. I think that kind of the only negative thing you could pull from the game today was some guys getting beat up a little bit, right? That's probably about it. You
Little
saw
bit
the
of injury stuff.
Trey Smith back injury. I'm not sure exactly what happened with Kingsley. And then you had the knee injury to Omar Norman Lott. Was it an ankle injury? But you said Kareem Hunt got back in the game, so hopefully that's fine.
Yeah, he was back. He was back.
Worthy's, his shoulder was bothering him a little bit, but he still stuck it out and played the rest of the game. So, I mean, we could talk about that just a little bit. Do you know what Andy had to say after the game about any of those, other than Norman Lott getting an MRI?
No,
I think he said something
he'll-
about Trey's back locked up on him, but they're going to
Yeah,
sit
he
on
said Trey's
monitor it.
back locked up, and hopefully it's nothing big. They think Jawan Taylor is going to be fine. They thought if the offense needed to go out, he could have went out. I didn't see anything about Kingsley. I don't know what we're talking about with Kingsley. I've never seen Kingsley go out of the game with an injury. I may have missed that one, but I've never seen anything on
No,
that
I just
one.
saw people in the chat talking about it. I don't know a whole lot about that.
Me too. So unless that was just a mess up there and we got them confused with somebody, I don't know. But I just don't remember seeing Kingsley stuff. Let me take a
Yeah, I
look
don't either.
at the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, it
I'm
said he
pretty
was a
sure-
little shaken up after an extra point.
Okay. Nothing
But
major,
it
though.
looks like it's going to be completely fine. Like, it's nothing crazy.
Mhm. Yeah. I don't see anything going on. Really. Just
I
what
just
we
see a
talked
bunch of
about.
ass
Nothing extra.
whoopings, what I seen.
Hell yeah, baby. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. That was such a nice game today. It was nice just to chill with the fam and eat some delicious Zarda barbecue and watch an ass whooping. It was beautiful. I love watching Patrick Mahomes get out there and just deal it. What about that no-look pass to Rashee Rice? Rice even was just like shaking his head like, dude.
Yeah, that was pretty. Mahomes does. I mean, we all know that at the end of the day, that's what people rely on a lot. They rely on the eyes of the QB, and that's why Mahomes works on that so much. But that play was crazy because if you watch the replay, he's looking in the middle of the field, and this thing's not like just a little bit to the left. Like he throws straight to the sideline. He put it right on the money.
Hey, and
Like,
right,
just right
on
on the
cue,
money.
baby. TGZ with the 2 says no look pass. Andy calling trick plays. KC football is back. It is, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
when you actually are putting up, when you're putting up points, and your defense is causing people to punt the ball at record rates, you can be a little lax with some of those trick plays, right? Like
Yeah, for sure.
everything feels good at that point. But if it's close and you're trying this, it gets a little wild with it. So congrats, Andy, for getting these out. And it's funny too, because people's like, he's holding back the playbook. Oh, is he? He's having 14 different trick plays today, and that's holding back the playbook.
Right.
It's like, I'd hate to see what happens if he wasn't holding
I
it
think
back.
people have a misconception of how a playbook works. Like they have this book, they can only put a certain amount of plays in at the beginning of the year, and then they have to portion
No,
it.
You
know,
can run the exact same play in about 45 different sets, and it's going to work
Yeah.
the same almost every time because they're not going to have film of that set. So, and even if they do know like even if you do line up and say a certain personnel and look the same, they don't know what play's coming because believe it or not, you have about 1,000 plays out of each set. So the playbook thing just kind of goes over people's heads, but it is what it is. It's a great talking point to make the Chiefs sound awesome.
right. ZXVIX, I'm not even going to try to say that, says, does the offense remind you of the 2022 offense? It doesn't remind me of the 2018 offense yet, at least, or at least not yet. So 2022, that would have been, let's see, the year after the Tampa Bay debacle, correct?
I think. Man, we can't just be thinking about numbers like 2018 and 2022. I'm too old.
tough.
I can't
That's
remember
tough.
that.
Now, the 2018 offense, of course, we know what that was. That was Mahomes, essentially his rookie season, his first year starting, dealt
Right.
50 touchdowns, 5,500 yards. Yeah, that was insane. But I do, like, here's the thing. Maybe I'm with you on that. Like, they might not be that yet, but I do think that this team here overall could be just as talented or more talented than that team was. So is it possible to start playing at a level like that? Absolutely. I think so.
Yeah, this is going to be a historically good offense by the end of the year, in my opinion. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think
there's
so
no
too.
doubt about it. There's too many weapons. Like, how do you guard everybody?
Yeah, it's insane.
Like,
It's,
your
I said,
fifth
it's a tough
option is
task.
literally a guy that runs a 4.2, and he was supposed to be a first round pick and got picked in the second round out of Baylor. Like, this is your number 5? What?
Gary says Mike and Steve Crosby seems to get hurt every time he plays the Chiefs. Doesn't everybody? You know,
I
once they're
think
getting
he
that butt whooped.
sandbagged it a little bit. I think
He might have
Crosby's kind of done with this.
Well, I have a
team.
theory about Max Crosby. I think Max Crosby, deep down in his heart, literally wants to be a Chief so bad he can't handle it. Like, of course, he talks the big game. He's the Raider. He has to do that. He had that little spat with Mahomes here and there. They kind of go after each other, but really they're buddies. They're always talking to each other, hugging on each other. Max wants to be a Chief. And, you know, we could use him right now. We could use him. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
Vegas
if y'all
would
want
never
to
trade, but
make a deal. No, I'm just-
let's make it. Let's do a historic 3-way trade like they do in the NBA,
let's do it.
and let's just have somebody take Max from them, but have him on the back burner for us.
Whatever we can do. Our girl Brenda here with 1459. Let's freaking go. What's the significance here? We got Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, Hollywood, and Juju. I love it. Appreciate you, Brenda. You're freaking awesome.
Yes.
Wide receiver core is beautiful. I love it, dude. If they can just stay healthy, that's not even without Tyquan Thornton in the mix. And I think that kid, I saw where someone left a comment on a video that we did yesterday, and they said, now's not the time to trade Tyquan Thornton. Now's the time to use him even more. And I thought that made a lot of sense because now that you have Rashee Rice back, you still have Xavier Worthy over there as a weapon. Juju, Travis Kelce, all those guys that can do all these things over the middle of the field, all that yak ability and everything. now's the time where you probably should have Tyquan Thornton out there just running to the goalpost almost every play. Stretch that field out because you're going to make it tougher for them to contain the guys underneath. And then on top of that, if Rashee Rice is tearing you a new butthole, eventually you're going to be able to hit Tyquan Thornton deep because they're going to have to bring him in a little bit, and then he's going to burn somebody. So I kind of thought that made sense. I don't know why you trade him. I would take him to use them to your advantage.
Right. Well, I mean, they got speed all over the field. It's just one of those things where it's like,
But is he not more of a viable deep threat than anybody right now?
yeah. Well, besides
just
maybe
is.
Xavier Worthy.
Right now, at this
Mahomes
point,
could
I'd
ever
give it to
figure out a way to
Thornton.
hit Xavier Worthy deep, which he seems to have more.
They can. They do that.
But it does seem like he's had a lot more like instant connection or chemistry with the way Tyquan Thornton runs the route or whatever he does. But he has some bad throws towards Xavier Worthy when they go deep. But
Yeah.
we'll see, man. How many
Appreciate you,
touchdowns do you
Brenda.
think Pat can throw this year with everyone back? He'll go over 40 for sure. He may be pushing 50 by the end of the year.
I don't know. He got kind of a slow start. So,
It don't
what's he
matter.
got right now? What's his total right now?
We're 7 weeks in, and Rat-a-tat Pat is looking at about he's at 11 touchdowns already, tied for 6th. He's at 1,500 yards.
So, okay, we're for all intents
we'll
and
just say
purposes,
we're-
we're a third of the way through the season. So
Right. So
he's
looking at
on
about-
pace for like 33.
he's on pace for 33, and he's on pace for about 4,500 yards.
I think
But-
it could definitely go up now, though, because like
this
even
is-
today.
This has been the first quarter of the season without Rashee Rice and without all
Correct.
you know what I mean?
Yep, correct. Mahomes in 2022-23 had 41 touchdowns, one MVP, Super Bowl MVP the same season, led the league in passing yards and touchdowns. That's feasible. That's feasible.
Yeah,
With what we got going on right now, absolutely. Matt says, Mike, let's see, y'all talk about Connors in the slot. How was he today? Do you have any idea? I mean,
Right, I
honestly,
have to go back and watch
I didn't
it.
specifically watch Connor today, but I would have to say the way the defense played, I think everyone did their job. Like,
Right. I
really
don't
do.
know. I mean, that's something I'll have to get on film and watch now, but I'll
Yeah.
try to cover it and find something for you. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely going to be something that people will be looking at all week because that's a big thing. Chamari Connor does seem like a liability in coverage sometimes,
Yeah.
but some of that is just, bad matchup. I don't think here he had a bad matchup.
Well, this is
today.
his third season, right? So I mean, he's you have to give him a little bit of a break. I mean, we talked. He was playing so bad, though. He was playing so bad.
So
But
the initial stats on him, it don't say, oh, he only played 2 slot snaps today in coverage.
hey, is Spags finally figuring it out?
Yeah, he may have. He played 2 aligned in the slot, and he 1 target, 1 reception, but it was only for 2 yards.
Well, imagine that, though.
So, I
But
mean,
is Spags
you live
finally
with that all
figuring
day.
it out? Yeah, for sure. That's something to think about. We'll have to go back and look at that tape and see what Spags
So did
had going on.
McDuffie. Was McDuffie in the slot more today? Let me go find that one
Maybe.
really quick.
Shout out Brenda, member for 26 months, says, I also think Thornton and Bashard Smith are awesome. Just so many weapons. It's ridiculous. I mean, you guys have to think we have a 4th-round draft pick wide receiver who could have been a 2nd-round draft pick that hasn't even got to see the football field because of how good our receivers are. So it's crazy, the weapons that Mahomes has to play with this year. Health is the main thing.
So he had 2 in the slot. McDuffie only had 11, so that's 13 plays. Roland Wallace had 6 coverage in the slot today, so that puts us at about 19. So there was only 11 more snaps to go around. They only had 30 snaps on offense. So
That's crazy to
wild,
think
dude.
about, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah. Chiefer says, let's do some game balls. How about it? You want to do game balls?
Yeah,
Mike?
let's do game balls before we head out.
You can go first. Go ahead.
I'll give game ball to. I mean, it honestly feels like you have to give it to Mahomes. He played such a flawless game, but I feel like that's a little too easy. So I'll go ahead and give it to. I'll go ahead and give it to Rashee today. He didn't do nothing spectacular, but he got his 2 touchdowns. He got back in the mix. I like that.
I mean, seven receptions for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
I would say that's right under spectacular, right?
But
that's
I mean, Mahomes
that's a good day.
pretty much played a flawless game, so it's tough to not give it to Mahomes. If I had to pick another player, I think I would give MVP to maybe Nagy or whoever called some of the game, because you actually called a good game today. You stuck to a good game plan, and you let Brashard Smith get some work. So I actually like that as well. And then defensively, I'll give the game ball today to I'm going to give it to McDuffie. McDuffie led the team in total tackles today, and he pretty much blanked everybody he was on. If not him,
The
Chris
usual.
Jones got the sack. So, I mean, you could give it to the sack, Chris Jones. But, I mean, I
Yeah.
think McDuffie, man.
Yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes is the obvious one. Like you said, he played pretty much a flawless game today. But I'm going to give it to Isaiah Pacheco. 15 carries, 57 yards. He averaged just under 4 yards per carry. He did get the tutty today finally, so he broke that little barrier for the season. Maybe now it could start flowing a little more. But I just thought he's been improving a lot over the last few weeks. You're seeing him get back to his full strength coming off that ankle injury last year. He kind of looked a little sluggish or just not the same. I think that's starting to completely wear off. He's starting to look really good. They're starting to use him in a better way, like I was talking about earlier, getting him outside the tackles a little bit, letting him use his speed. I think Pacheco's been doing a good job in the pass pro. He's doing a lot of things right, and he got his first touchdown today. I'll give it to him. And then on defense, I think I got to go Chris Jones. He did only have the one sack, but he was put on pressure all day today. He caused a couple holding penalties. He was just absolutely wrecking that offensive line, and it was apparent. They struggled. That's why they only had 30 snaps, because he was just wrecking it in the middle.
Yeah. It was tough. You almost just have to give the game balls to literally the team, the full offense and the full defense. They just
Well,
played
I
such
want
a
to know
good
what
game
you guys
today.
think. Y'all get in the chat. Get in the chat. Let us know who you think the game ball on offense and the game ball on defense goes to, because I want to see what everybody else thinks, because it could go out to a lot of different players. Honestly,
Yeah, for
Ray
sure.
says, "Remember, Matt Nagy don't call the plays." So me and Mike were talking about that today as well. I think if you really pay attention to what's going on, I think Nagy is calling the plays. I think Nagy does call the offense, but Big Red interjects at any moment that he wants to. So it is a team effort. Like, obviously, you got Nagy, Blameyer, those guys. They get together, they come up with this game plan. They present it to Andy Reid. Andy Reid okays it. That sounds good. That's what we go with. And then when they get to the game, I do think that Nagy's calling the plays. I do, to a certain extent. Because I think Nagy's kind of, running the offense, but every once in a while, here and there, Andy interjects and says, "No, we're going to do this." And I think that's just how it goes. So it's definitely a team effort. Now, when there's a bad play here and there, it's kind of hard to say who did it because of the way it operates. But I do think he does call. We kind of saw that a little bit on the sideline today. It looked like he was calling the offense.
Yeah. Somebody asked about Jalen Watson. Jalen Watson had 3 targets. He allowed 1 catch for 3 yards. No, 1 catch for 0 yards. So he didn't even allow a yard on the catch. And he had a nice breakup early in the game. The only thing he kind of struggled with today was tackling. He ended up having 2 missed tackles. He led the team in missed tackles today. So I didn't really pay attention to when he missed those. That'll be something I can watch for during the film. But he had a solid game overall. I think this will be one of his highest rated games of the year. I know Philly and the Giants game, he'll be rated a little bit higher than he probably would be today. Maybe even last week. He had a pretty good game. I think Jalen Watson's played more good games than bad games this year, if I had to say. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I
mean,
think
yeah,
he's
his
probably only
moments,
had 2 games this year where he's just absolutely struggled. Like
Yeah.
struggle bus.
If I
and
could
one
pick
of them
one
was the
person out
Chargers.
on this team today that I didn't think had the best performance, it would be Nico Remigio in the return.
Yeah, he kind of was
But-
just lame and mid there on the
But I
on
mean,
the punt returns.
you can't have the best day every day, so I'm not going to hold that against.
And the
them.
Raiders couldn't score, so he never got a chance to do the kickoff. So
Yeah, Jazzy D
is what
says
it
butt
is.
kickers kicking more vertically through the ball again. He was damned straight. Yeah, he did look a lot better.
it did look like everything was fading off to the right on Butker today, though. Did
Just a
everybody
bit, but I
notice that?
think that
Like they
comes
were
from-
barely catching the inside of that upright.
I think that comes from keeping yourself more upright, because if you bend that left knee at all, you're going to hook more. So I do think maybe he's working on just staying more upright, and I think that Jazzy's been preaching that in the chat for a couple of weeks now. So shout out there. Ray says he was just being sarcastic about the play calling. I figured, but I just wanted to bring that up because me and Mike actually had that conversation on the couch today. So definitely wanted to talk about it for a second. Gizmo says that was a beautiful game. Absolutely fun to watch. Irwin says the Donkeys are not good. I'm right there with you. I think they have a good defense as usual, but I don't think the offense is there at all. So they're definitely vulnerable. Daniel says the refs gave KC the game. Yeah, absolutely, baby. That's what I saw. I don't know about you, Mike, but I think the Raiders would have won if it wasn't for those damn refs. Those pesky refs are always helping the Chiefs, you know.
Yeah, the same refs that called a touchdown off the board for the Chiefs, and the Raiders only had 20 more penalty yards.
Like it doesn't matter.
But
Daniel knows
dude,
how it is.
I believe it.
Daniel's
though,
a member of the
because-
channel, and he knows how we like to rag on this. Okay, and let's
Yeah.
just say it.
Is that
Just say what
wild?
it-
20.
Say it for
Dude,
what it is.
It's probably people are going to say it. You know they are. They're going to equate that 20 extra yards of penalties into
Bro.
31 points.
Well, they were perfectly timed to help the Kansas City Chiefs. And there was a study at UTEP. It's sad though.
A study at UTEP.
Ooh, there was a study at Woodland
Jeez
Elementary
Louise.
up the road. All them little kids came up with it and said that you guys could suck it. That was wrong. It's the equivalent. It's literally the equivalent. Let's see. What else we got going on? Oh, Mahomes, no look pass, freaked out my, what did it say? It went away. Freaked something out. Got you horned up. I know it did that.
Yep.
Chiefs definitely taking care of the ball. 100%. Whoever said that in the chat. You haven't seen a whole lot of turnovers. Now, Mahomes is very risky. Like, you start to see why Mahomes gets so many bad interceptions. He relies on his arm so much, he thinks he can just get it by anybody. No matter how close they are, what position they're in. He's
Yeah,
very
that
confident
was-
in himself. He will throw some risky balls. And he also tries to throw it straight through the offensive line and defensive line. Like, he don't care. He'll throw a low fastball. They get batted all the time. But, you know, I'm okay with it. I think, you know, it's fine. Yeah, sure, it can be a detriment at times, but I think Mahomes is not Mahomes if he doesn't do that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I think he's done pretty damn good this season so far. The Chiefs in general, winning the turnover battle probably if you go through all the games, which is a big difference from usual.
Agreed.
Mike took a nap.
Agreed.
Oh, Mike took a nap. He
just-
wrote me a book and then took a nap.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's go. All right, guys, do us a favor. Hit that like button on the way out if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. All that fun stuff. Also, be on the lookout for a video drop tomorrow. And then we'll have our podcast out Tuesday. You know the usual drill. Every day you're going to have some Chiefs content. Also, Mike will have a nice little short up tonight. Probably dogging on the Raiders, so you don't want to miss that. Shout out to everybody who donated today. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for helping us out. Helping the channel roll, baby. We need you guys. We got to get to that 100K now. We got past that 50, and it's on to a hundo. And we're going to do it faster than we got to 50, along with you guys. So share it with friends. Do whatever you got to do. And we'll catch you next time. What a game, baby. Go Chiefs.
Get wild.